Hi, this is Amber. Welcome to Using Choice Boards in the Classroom. We want to start out by talking about what choice boards are and why they are beneficial to being used in the classroom. So let's get started. So what are choice boards? Well, they're instructional tools that teachers use to provide students with a list of choices, and these choices are strategically crafted and organized in a list so that teachers can meet their instructional goal, and students will be able to be provided with some choice in how to meet that goal. So what do they look like? Well, there's so many different types of choice boards, but they often look like game boards, tables, lists, task cards with clickable links, playlists, and so many other examples. So here are a few examples. So you see a tic-tac board. You see that they're most often organized in some sort of table or list. So it can range from anything like a menu item, a tic-tac-toe board, a list of choices where there's a free choice and they can even come up with their activity, or even like a playlist on an iPad. So lots of different ways to get across the point of choice, but also to make sure that goals are being met. So there's lots of creative ways to design these. So how are they used? Frequently, they're used for assessment tools so that as students complete the tasks on the choice list, teachers are able to gather the level of understanding of the content area. They're also used to practice independent skills. So a teacher teaches a skill, gives the student a choice board, and students are able to demonstrate or continue their learning and practice of that skill. Sometimes they're given as weekly tasks. So you get your task board on Monday and you have to complete a certain amount of them by Friday. Some teachers use them as homework projects. So to make the idea of homework a little more appealing, students get to choose from a list of what they're going to actually complete for their homework assignment. Sometimes they're used as culminating activities or projects so that they will be a list of things from students to choose, and those students get to choose what they're going to show their learning with, whether it's creating a video or a commercial or writing a paper. There are lots of different ways to culminate a learning project. Sometimes teachers even use them for extra credit to fill in that time of when students finish work quickly. They can actually earn extra credit by completing some items on a choice board. Again, these are just some ideas. They're often used in professional development as well, so that teachers get to choose their learning. So why use them? They sound really cool, but they also sound like they take some time. So why use choice boards? Well, here are some of the benefits. Students are allowed to get some choice and take ownership of their learning. So even though these are assignments teachers might give already, just by putting them on a choice board, they're getting some buy-in and ownership from the students. It also allows for differentiation. Depending on how the choice board is designed, you can actually level out your activities so that you have some that are a little easier and some that are a little harder. Sometimes teachers use these as a way to have students working on their choice boards independently while teachers are pulling small groups or students who need individual support, and enables them to give some differentiation that way. It also teaches responsibility. If they're given a list, they're giving expectations to when they should have that completed, and then they are turning it in by the due date. Also, students are able to work at their own pace for a bit, and they're able to gauge what they can do and how much time it will take for them to be able to complete the activity. Also, it's a great way to target student interest so that you can put some things in that students are excited about. So in this course, we're going to be covering 4 different choice board styles. We're going to be using HyperDocs or Google Docs with hyperlinks. We're going to be using HyperSlides, which are Google Slides with links. Additionally, we're going to expose you to Google Drawings as a way to do choice boards. And the final one is not a Google product, Wakelet. Wakelet is a tool that enables you to do a choice board in a very different but interactive way. So let's get started with our learning. You're going to be exposed to those 4 tools and you'll get to create choice boards using the method that you find is easiest.